Hello, thanks for joining me. It's been quiet on my channel for a while now, and that is exactly the reason why I decided to turn on my camera today and share with you a little bit about what's been going on, what I've been using, what I've been enjoying. And to be quite honest, I haven't been using or journaling all that much recently. I don't know if it's a funk or something, but I have just not been very much into it all. I have a couple of things here I have been reaching out for, and that of course bring me joy, but I can't say I had like a very creative streak or a very journaling inspired streak. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe we'll figure it out while I blabber on here, maybe not. But okay, I just felt like filming, and if anybody finds this useful or maybe interesting to look at or listen to, welcome, stick around. I don't have a theme for this video, I do not have notes, I just talk about what comes to mind and I show you what has been floating around my desk and what's being used. So I don't know, maybe we should start with the most simple things. For this year I decided to use Hobonichi Weeks as my weekly planner, and this is not the first year I use the weeks. It is the second time, but last year I skipped. And this has been quite successful, I think. I have been consistent in using it, and I can show you a little bit of the things. It's really straightforward. The monthly part is something where I keep track of my plants and the watering schedule. So basically that's it. Because as I completely switched to my phone for all the appointments and important dates and birthdays, I don't reach for the monthly section to check that part. So that's the monthly. And the weekly is like a catch-all. Well, some weeks I transfer stuff and appointments from my phone to have them written down. I also have I have been really enjoying this kind of short list stuff, like to do at home for cleaning and housework, what I need to mail out, what I need to receive in the mail, what orders do I need to work on. If you didn't know, I have a small business and I design hand-carved rubber stamps. I make them all by hand, and you can find out more about that on my Instagram. I will show you, maybe there are a couple of here stamped. I will show you what exactly is that I do. But yeah, some notes regarding that stuff if I have some admin work to do. And each week is actually the same and different. Sometimes I don't feel like writing down what happened each day. And in that case, what happens, I just journal a bit. And I will try to find one, like this spread. I wrote nothing about what happened each day. I did do my lists, but I just journaled about the week, and I don't know, it just go with the flow. I open it a couple of times a week, I jot down what I need to, I highlight the stuff that I accomplished, and yeah, that's it. Oh, you can see here, this little froggy. That's one of my newer designs. And these froggies here and this flower and stuff like that. I think this is last week. Another froggy. I've been on a froggy streak or something. So yeah, this is actually what's been really here for me, and I have been reaching for it, updating it, and I don't know, for I guess since high school, more than 20 years, I always had some sort of paper weekly or maybe just monthly some years planner, and always write down the little things in the day, or at least for that week, to have kind of more like a memory keeping. If I need to check when my son has a doctor's appointment, I check my phone. I share notes and the calendar with my husband, and the important appointments we have shared in the calendar. So that's actually something that's really for us convenient. This is more like for fun, and I don't take that this planner in my bag and check the notes and see, oh, I have dentist appointment next week. I use my phone for that. So this is something that has evolved into a nice habit, and I like actually flipping through my previous years. This is exactly what brings us to this little chunky fellow. This is a traveler's notebook in passport size, and I actually haven't even removed my last year's weekly planner, which is the Nolte Gold, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I mean, it's full, it's done. I have really been enjoying it, and I'm seriously considering to switching back to this for next year because I miss it. I love the weeks, but I miss this small format. And if you see, that's my dog. I'm on the floor, so he's curious. So yeah, I have been really missing my little Nolte, and I still love flipping through it just to look at some memories, and I can't bring myself to take it out of this. This is my wallet, and I just can't take it out. I don't know. I think I'll have to get a new one for next year. It was just too much fun, as much as I love the weeks. And speaking of Nolte, I did add this one to my collection. It's a notebook. It's a blank grid, but I got the bigger size. It is bigger than the passport. This Nolte Gold is called Kogata size, and it fits the traveler's notebook passport. This one does not. This is the pocket. And I use this one for some notes, for some tarot spreads. I have copied from books I have. These are some spreads or prompts for tarot readings and journaling that I find like I want to hold on to them or revisit them. So I have them here, and I have just started it, so it's not really full, but that's what I use this for. So yeah, that's all regarding the weekly planning. Regarding journaling, I have been using this little A6 notebook from Hobonichi, and I have been using this one since, I think, is it May or June? I'm not sure. And I didn't even get to the half of it. So not even, maybe, almost, no, I'm not sure. And I decided to switch to something bigger, because as much as I love this Tomoe River paper, I have started using my fountain pens, which have a medium nib, and it's difficult to write this tiny because the Hobonichi notebooks have this tiny little grid. I hope you can see it. And I got tired, and my hand gets tired, and I said, okay, this is undated. I can always go back to it when I feel like it, and I know I will feel like it again. And I got a lovely gift from a friend, from dear Isabel. She gifted me a notebook. Not this one, this is something else. She gifted me a beautiful notebook that's also Tomoe River paper, but it's a B6 size. And it has a bigger grid, yes. I'm getting old because the Hobonichi weeks and Hobonichi notebook grids are getting too small for it. I was all for the 3.8 grid or something, and now I'm like, give me 0.5 because I want a broader nib and I want to write larger. And yeah, this is what I've been using since I got it. There's not a lot. As I said, I haven't been journaling a lot, really. This is from February. This is all for this month. This is it. And yeah, it's so hard. Still feel like it's so hard to sit down and journal. And I keep carrying everything in my head. And it stresses me out, but I don't know. Something's off. I'll figure it out. But yeah, for the cover, I got this beautiful Filofax. This is the gold ochre, I think. And I de-ringed it so that it could be a beautiful cover for this notebook. Because, again, I confirmed that I just can't do rings. No way. And yes, I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I want to say Fleurir Lab, but I'm not sure because I always forget. But yeah, that's it. That's my journal. Not really full. I cannot say I have been busy and inspired to journal, but I don't know, just a funk maybe. Thoughts floating around in my head. This has been tucked in. This is actually a Moleskine notebook. It's a simple grid one. And I have been using this like a catch-all. And it's been something I reach for and grab when I want to jot down study notes or notes from the books I'm reading. And I have been reading a lot. Maybe that's something that influenced me to maybe not have the energy to journal more or be more creative, or I can't even remember when I painted something or drew something other than some stamp designs. I have been reading, well, apart from tarot deck guidebooks, I have been exploring the Thoth system. So I've been reading this guy, Lon Milo Duquette, and his book on the Thoth tarot, and he dives into some Hermeticism and Hermetic Kabbalah stuff, and it's really it's something that's actually and absolutely new to me. So I've been coming across some information I have never heard before, but it's intriguing, so I write notes and stuff I want to maybe explore a bit more in this notebook. And I never actually had something like this, and it's coming quite handy because I reach for it. I refer to the stuff I wrote down I want to maybe deep dive or find more information on, and it's proven to be quite useful. And I like the fact that it's a Moleskine and nothing fancy, just grab and go and have at hand for reading and studying. So speaking of tarot and tarot study, I still have my old trusty Hobonichi weeks, the Mahar Techo from 2023, because I use it as my like a tarot repository, and this is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith system. Because when I first encountered tarot, I started with that system, and actually my first deck I've fallen in love with was the Lightseers and some other decks with a similar vibe. So I have mostly been studying that system through this notebook and writing down my thoughts and some notes from other books that cover that particular system. So as I started exploring the Thoth, this has been a little bit neglected because I just can't do both things at once. It's things started mixing a bit. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. The base is probably very similar, but I decided to leave this on the side for a bit so I can focus more on this stuff, just until I get like a bit of a bearing, because some things are very different and very new to me, because I think that's just a part of being a newbie in this stuff. So yeah, I don't want to get all confused, and I like to have things compartmentalized. Did I say that right? Everything in its little compartments. So the Rider-Waite-Smith has its journal and notebook, and that study is separate from the Thoth stuff and this notebook. Okay, hope that makes sense. I'm not crazy, I promise. I'm just trying to learn something new, and it has not been so easy. Okay, now that we have covered, I think we covered all the notebooks and stationery stuff. Yeah, regarding decks, as I said, Thoth has been interesting, and it has been interesting since, I don't know, sometime before Christmas. I had a chat with a very lovely lady about a lot of stuff, but at some point of our conversation regarding tarot and a lot of other things, I mentioned I was always like afraid of even looking into the tarot deck created by Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris, and very overwhelmed even thinking about everything it entails. And from that conversation, I'm not able to reproduce it now for you, but I kind of got intrigued from some information she told me, and dove in, got the cards. Fortunately, I was able to get them secondhand and for a really good price. And I don't know, I've been mesmerized with them. Beautiful. Not only are the cards gorgeous, and if you have showed me these cards like a year ago, I would say no thank you. But something clicked, and I've been really intrigued and studying and exploring. So yeah, I guess it's just that part of the journey now to look into this and see what I can take for myself, what I can use, what I can enjoy, and leave out all the rest. So that's the story about the Thoth Tarot and how I even surprised myself with all this energy and enthusiasm I found to discover and learn a bit more about that system. And okay, what can I talk about next? Oh God, I need to show you this. This is very, very special. This is a pouch for a tarot deck that Desiree made for me. She came to visit in end of January. She came to Zagreb and we spent 3 wonderful days together, and I don't know, it was so much fun and it was so weird. We saw each other last year in spring when I went to Amsterdam, and I visited her and a bunch of other people. There was a Cafe Analog meetup, and it was amazing. But when she came to Zagreb and when I met her at the place she was staying, it was like we saw each other yesterday. It was like, oh hi, welcome, and let's go hang out. It was so funny, and I love that feeling. I have that feeling only with a couple of people in this world, and Desiree is one of them. I could not see her or talk to her for a while, and it's just when we meet up, it's just, we just move on like it was yesterday. So she brought this amazing gift. She makes these pouches all by hand. She takes every little piece of fabric and she embroiders it. You have to check out her Instagram. I will link it down below. She does amazing stuff. Look at it. Look at all the details. Every stitch is by hand. every little stitch and every decoration, everything. Gorgeous. And this is my favorite tarot deck. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith, the one I have been using to study the system, the one that I have been loving for so long. It's the beautiful, the one with the plaid bag that reminds me of my dad. And even though I'm at a phase where Thoth is really intriguing and I enjoy studying it and all of the related stuff, so interesting, but this is the root, right? For me, this is where I fell in love with these images, and especially Pamela Coleman Smith illustrations. Yeah. So this pouch is a very special home for this tarot deck, and I love it so much, and it's the most beautiful gift I could imagine. It's precious. Please, please, if you like it, go give Desiree some love. She makes them all by hand. The last I know, she is able to take orders. Everything is custom, so of course you have to reach out to her, ask her how she's with time and everything, but I mean, it's a work of art. And you should definitely go to her Instagram profile and admire it. I'm smitten. So that has been very special, and a very special artifact on my desk. Regarding tarot decks, there's one more I have been very enjoying lately, and this has been on my wish list, I don't know, I want to say a year, but maybe it's a little bit less. This one is called the Shimmering Veil by Cilla Conway, and there's a bunch of walkthrough videos on the internet, on YouTube, about this deck. I won't go into too many details, but this deck made me realize that what I really enjoy, apart, well, that's a bit of paradox, because before I said I like to compartmentalize stuff, and one would expect I enjoy Rider-Waite-Smith based decks and Thoth inspired decks. But what I realized, that I enjoy mysterious decks. let's see if I can explain it. I love my Rider-Waite-Smith. I love the Thoth. It's very interesting. But the decks I enjoy reading with for myself, for self-reflection, for my own kind of, I'm not sure how to say it, for my own work. This type of deck is really something that pushes all the right buttons for me. So when you look at this, there's I don't know, maybe you can, but I can't quite put it in a category or in a box. I cannot put it in a compartment. I just know it's beautiful, intriguing, deep, artistic, colorful, moving, insightful, mysterious, scary, shadowy, spiritual, and I could go on, but I won't. It's a very special tarot deck, and Cilla Conway painted it, I think, with oils. The guidebook is amazing. It has a very interesting twist on interpreting the cards, and along with the Mariel Tarot that I consider my, there's a phrase I've heard, soul deck. Maybe I could call it a soul deck, but a deck and cards and guidebook that speaks to my soul and inspires me the most when I read with it. and I read with it for something I would call difficult topics for myself, difficult questions. I ask myself difficult questions with that deck. This falls into that group. So the Shimmering Veil has been a discovery, and thank you, Miss Cilla Conway, for making it, because, and isn't it fun? Look at the edges, like a pearlescent sheen on the gilding. Yeah, it has been a discovery, and now the only regret I have is not getting it earlier. But again, I think I got it at exactly the right time, because even though I'm not sure if it is based on any system, I mean, it is based on some system, but I feel I can now use it in a more efficient way now that I have a tiny little bit of knowledge about the Thoth and some other stuff related to it. I think it adds another layer. Everything I studied so far always adds another layer upon layer, and when I see a card, more associations pop up and give a deeper meaning. I'm losing the sun, so I'm gonna wrap it up soon. But one more thing I wanted to share is an oracle deck, and I'm not really an oracle person. Sorry, I needed to shift my weight. My leg fell asleep. I'm not really an oracle person. I rarely reach for oracles, but I have Marion Costentin's Lilifer tarot, and it's a gorgeous tarot deck. You can see more about it in my previous video. And I've learned that she has also this creation, and it's a deck for, I think there's 90 or 100 cards in there, and every card is a feeling, and that intrigued me. And I have to say the colors are wrong. This is like a pale pink, a salmon pink, and every video I saw, the color is always like a beige. So please keep in mind, try to look up photos online. This just doesn't do it justice. The cardstock is matte. It has black gilding. These are the backs, and this is not beige. It's like a salmon pink, a cool pink, very pale, but it's not this color you see on the camera. So every card represents a feeling, and there's a little guidebook. Every card and the feeling gets a little paragraph, like a little poem almost. So this is protection. This is what? Desire. This is stability. This is forgiveness. And so on. Like there's almost 100 cards in here. Let's find one. This one is joy. And the fun part is not only the cards, like you can mix the deck, pull a card, think about your feeling, where did you feel, when did you feel it, where in the body did you feel it, what does it say to you, and investigate stuff like that. There is also a journal. And me being a journal girl, fell in love with that idea. And I got the journal. And I will leave the link below. I got these two from Arcana Barcelona. They are in Barcelona, in Spain. And I have really been enjoying their shop. They have a nice selection of independent published decks and some other stuff, so please check them out. I had a wonderful experience every time I ordered from them. And yeah, I got the journal too. And it's a big one. It's bigger than A5. This is A5 Slim. So it's a bit taller than an A5 and a lot wider. And the fun part about this journal, it's not blank. Instead, you get the first couple of pages of instructions and beautiful illustration done by Marion Costentin. And when you go through the instruction, this is an example spread. You get to do your own thing, and for every card, there is a spread. For every card in the deck, and you find your card. For example, I opened here humility, and you get prompts. When was the last time you felt it? The humility. Do you remember feeling it before? What does it feel like? And then you can go here. What is the color? Where in the body? It smells like, it sounds like, it feels like. And then you can grade it. And then you can journal freely, or paint, or draw something. And this is relatively new to me, so I've just started. And it's a really fun concept. I think she nailed it with the Reclaim journal and the deck. Really interesting and really fun to play with your emotion. And yeah, just wanted to share that. I think it's a interesting and valuable creation by Marion Costentin. Really something to look into if you want to explore. It has nothing to do with the tarot decks. You can use just the cards. You can just journal freely in your notebook about a certain emotion, or play around with this concept. Okay, I have totally lost the light. It's getting dark here. I want to thank you for joining me in this little rambly session. I hope I provided at least some useful information, and I hope to talk to you soon in a new video. Thank you for stopping by. Bye!